It's the
Two chords.
Wednesday live stream with old Mike.
Hi, friends. And Nate. Nate, he's here.
And today we're doing something kind of fun. We're both playing Fano guitars.
Yeah, well, Novo Fano. Yes, yes.
Novo Fano,
Novo
which
Fano.
actually they're the same company now.
They are. They are, yes.
Yeah,
indeed.
so Fano was in, I think, Scottsdale, Arizona.
Correct.
Novo, Nashville, Tennessee. And as of this last NAMM show, they have, come back together. Because at one point, I think they were together.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so now they're all operating out of Nashville. And for us, this is a new product line. And Mike and I really dig them.
Really dig them, yeah.
Yeah.
This thing is fun. I'm still getting used to the backwards headstock, but
Don't
for
take
tuning,
long.
yeah.
Just
Dumb guitar players, I don't know. But yeah, this is great. I really like this one.
Yeah, they feel good. So mine is this is an Alts de facto PX6, which is obviously this is like a sort of like a non-reverse Firebird kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's got TV Jones Filtron style pickups in it, which is very Gretsch, tonally speaking.
Yes, sir. Yes,
pickup
sir.
configuration, and then with the kind of Gretsch orange with this. I mean, it's just an obvious tip of the hat.
It's a wink and a nod, yeah. It
To the
definitely
Gretsch
is.
family, but it feels kind of like a Firebird in the neck. I just tell you, friend, you just have to play this because it definitely it's a bigger neck, but it's not like outrageously chunky like U-shaped 51 no-caster, which is not for everybody.
Correct.
This just feels great. What do you have over there?
Man, I like this one too. So this is another PX6 as well. This thing is with reverse headstock, obviously, so it has a little bit of a different angle to it. I'm really digging this though because it just has this very unique tailpiece on here that it's still adjustable. So instead of having the actual tune-o-matic and then the sock tail back there, it's kind of the best of both all put together, so you can still intonate this guitar really, really well. I'm actually, not that this isn't a cool guitar, but for me, I'm shocked how much I like this. Like, this is really cool. Like, I'm like, that guitar's neat. I played it, and like, I kind of want to buy it.
Yeah,
It's like that.
It's
cool.
a vibe. It's kind of
like, it's a vibe. It's gritty. It's a rock and roll guitar for sure. But it is super cool. And I'm glad we're playing these today.
Some guitars are very utilitarian. Other guitars are like almost like a costume that you put on, and it becomes like kind of a new identity
That's
for you.
a neat way to put it. Yeah.
This is that.
Yeah, this is a fun costume. This is a rock and roll outfit to wear.
Speaking of rock and roll outfits, Mike and I are both playing through the Friedman IRD. I have one on my board. And if you don't know this, let me just tell you, Mike and I are tube amp guys through and through all the way. If you poke us, we will bleed 12AX7 fumes.
Yes,
right?
we will. Correct.
But that being said, we also live in a world where sometimes you have to run line direct because it is what it is. For example, on this live stream here. So what's interesting about this particular live stream, and I would love to hear your comments. So here is my first question for you, is that I am running with all of my modulation effects through the effects loop. And Mike was like, well, why don't we just run it all through the front and see what happens?
Well, yeah.
And I know some people, and I used to be this way, for whatever reason, some folks are just like, I don't want to use the effects loop. What do you mean 2 more cables?
It's a lot of cables, man.
Yeah. And that's okay. It's
Two more steps.
Right. So Mike and I are kind of, showing 2 different ways to skin this cat.
Absolutely. No, this sounds really cool. I think over on my end, I'm like Nate said, bleeding, AX7s, but I've yet to have the reason to dive into the onboard, amp processors and things like that. I still get to toad around the 2-rock. So I'm pretty green when it comes to dialing these things in, and man, this thing is super simple to find some really cool sounds out of. They've come a long way, and I'm definitely a believer. I just haven't had to spend the money yet.
Well, I tell you what, it's coming. And
it's coming.
Speaking of things that are wonderful and happening today, my friends, everyone watching, but especially Tony Lenardi.
Tony.
It's Tony's birthday today.
Happy birthday, Tony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Tony, to you. Happy birthday, dear Tony. Happy birthday to you. Threw you a curveball. Wish Tony a happy birthday out there. Tony is a great guy.
Yeah.
Tony has been an early adopter of Chords and Coffee and was.
Yeah, he's been around for a while.
Gosh, Tony, if you're on here and chat, and put in the chat if you don't mind. When did you start? If you can remember watching Chords and Coffee, like I want to say, I mean, I feel like you were there when I was still doing it from my phone
Oh, yeah?
at my house. So
Hey, those were classic episodes.
they were classic episodes, and Tony was there for each and every one. So God bless you, Tony. Happy birthday, and thank you. Thank you for being so encouraging and supportive. So we got some other folks on here. We got, let's see,
we got
Christian's
Sam.
Guitar Garage. What's up?
Hey, Nate.
Yeah, who else we got, Mike?
Yeah. We got Tony. We got Sam Smith. Good afternoon, Sam. And Kenny Hunt. Oh, he's wishing Tony a happy birthday as well. Hey, Kenny. Good to have you here, brother.
And see, what does Tony say? Guys, thank you so much. I was driving and laughing. You put a huge smile on my face because I didn't sing it very well. I picked a key too high. That's okay.
It says,
which is almost all of them. Yeah.
Yeah. Back to the phone days, probably. So he was agreeing with you, probably.
Yeah.
Early days from your living room there.
Hey.
Cool.
Speaking of early days, all right. So today I wanted. This is some challenging trivia. So today's guitar trivia, we're gonna do supergroup trivia.
Yeah.
So a supergroup is a musical entity that is formed out of individuals that had their own, career prior to or during. Yeah. You got somebody calling in already?
Well, no. I was just adding to this, and I had to look up to remember what I was going to say to add.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
Supergroup.
Yeah.
Well, we're getting there, and I just wanted to get the name first.
Gotcha.
We're getting there. Sorry to distract you.
So with that,
Yes.
who knows? And by the way, answer if you know it. Don't Google it. Just answer. What was the first rock and roll supergroup? What was the first rock and roll supergroup? Me and Mike are going to play a song, and you think about it. First rock and roll supergroup. Put that answer in the chat. First rock and roll supergroup.
That's a good one.
Was fun.
I like that.
You sounded great.
Well,
thank you.
Yes.
I tell you what, somebody got the answer. Now, we kind of threw you off the scent a little bit. What was that song, Mike?
That was Blind Faith. Yeah, I Can't Find My Way Home.
Yeah, now, in Blind Faith, that was a supergroup.
True.
But it wasn't the first supergroup.
It wasn't the first.
But pretty close.
Yeah,
really
50% right.
50% right.
Yes.
The first supergroup, Christian at Christian's Guitar Garage, got it right. It was Cream.
It's Cream.
Yeah, it's Cream.
It's Cream.
Yeah, absolutely.
So to add to that, I was curious because supergroup means everybody came from somewhere else, different groups to form a supergroup, and I'm like, what else did Ginger Baker and Jack Bruce do? I actually didn't know and had to look it up. The Graham Bond Organization, is that right?
It was like a jazz group.
Yeah,
right?
it was like a jazz group, and so that's where they were both part-time members in there, I guess. And then also, a short time, Jack Bruce was a John Mayall for just like this long. And that's where he runs into Clapton. And then everybody quits the band. John Mayall, talk about a really neat band full of guys that quit your band. I mean, I don't know if it's anything to do with John. I'm sure he's a wonderful guy, plays a great harmonica. But it's like, oh, everybody left and started other groups. It seemed like Mick Fleetwood was in there, Mick V. I mean, just like Peter Green. It was kind of weird.
You know, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing for your organization to be an airport.
Sometimes,
you know.
Yeah.
They land and they take off. Yeah.
Exactly.
No, for sure. And what's really interesting, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think any of those guys wrote lyrics. I think they had, wasn't there a guy named Pete Brown that wrote
did a lot of the lyrics. I mean, that's why everything, White Room, all those are so trippy. I think there was some lyrics in some of those, but the really poetic 60s psychedelic stuff, they had everybody.
It's getting here, dog.
Yeah. It's cool, but I think they had some assistance on the psychedelic part. Psychedelic.
Wonderful guesses. All right, guys, that was the only easy one. The rest of them I think are hard. Okay, so here's the next one. Let's see. This one starts out as a true or false. And this one, if you don't know about this group, it's kind of a mind-blowing situation. Okay, so true or false, friends, and I hope everybody's dialed in. Here we go. Paul Schaefer from David Letterman's house band, which was the world's most dangerous band, was in a rock and roll group. True or false? Paul Schaefer was in a rock and roll supergroup with Jeff Beck. I know you know the answer.
I do know that. I'm pretty sure it's true, but boy, the name is where I would get a little.
Here, let's play a little bit. Think about it. True or false?
Because it's the song. Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
was Paul Schaefer in a supergroup with Jeff Beck? True or false? And I will allow you a sneak on the internet for this one because this is a little bit of a deep cut.
Okay. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, what a song. And that's not as old as it seems. It just has that feel, doesn't it?
No, well, so the guy that did it first, Phil, anybody knows, you should put that in there. But yes, We had some good guesses here. Oh, Rick Billington says, late to the party, but made it. Sounds good. Thank you, brother Rick.
Oh, Kenny got it, though. Kenny
nailed it.
The Honeydrippers. That is correct.
Listen to this.
Good job, Kenny.
This is going to blow your mind.
Yeah, this is pretty cool.
So first of all, to my knowledge, I think most of the songs, if not all of them, on that album, Honeydrippers Volume 1, they were like covers of like classic, including Sea of Love.
Sea of Love. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and by the way, this is one of those, I would put this in a list of songs where the remake is better than the original.
Probably
no
so.
offense.
Sorry,
but yes. This is on that list. And just as a frame of reference, no offense, Trent Reznor, but I think Johnny Cash killed Hurt. Strange sentence to say, but that's a good example of the cover is better.
Oh, man.
Yeah, maybe we should do a whole episode on covers that are better than the originals. Hallelujah,
Man.
Jeff Buckley versus Leonard Cohen.
I'd even have to say Wilson Pickett and his cover of Hey Jude.
Better than Paul McCartney?
He's got Dwayne Allman playing guitar with him.
He does.
It's pretty ridiculous.
And it's great. Hey Jude.
Oh, man.
When he distorts the microphone.
Oh, man. It's so good.
Yeah, speaking of which,
So good.
quick tangent. If you watch the Muscle Shoals documentary, have you seen that?
I have. Yes, it's been a bit. I love it.
One of the guys that was there at Muscle Shoals, he says that song is the birth of Southern rock.
It was Wilson
Pickett's Hey Jude. Because you think about that. Yeah, and like all the elements of that. And
all
just,
of it together, yeah.
And at the end, ba-da-ba-ba-da, if you haven't listened to that.
So good.
Yeah, I love you, but that's not better than the original. Anyway. All right.
I'm not completely convinced in my statement either.
Okay, Honeydrippers. This is the folks in the Perilous Temple says that was lovely. Well done. Thank you so much. Robert Plant on vocals in the Honeydrippers. Jimmy Page on guitar. Jeff Beck.
What?
Little Yardbirds shout out
Seriously.
there. Yeah. Paul Schaefer. And then check this out. Nile Rodgers.
Because they needed another guitar player.
Take You to Funky Town.
Why not?
Wayne Pedswater. I don't know him. And then on drums, Dave Weckl. Get out of here.
The guy that was right here just a few months ago.
Well, that was Greg Bissonette.
Oh, no, Greg was up in over in the park.
Dave Weckl. No, Dave Weckl. We have done things with Dave Weckl, and actually met Dave Weckl at a NAMM show. And then here, check this out. Brian Setzer. Brian Setzer came in, so the guitar power was furious.
Where do you find a room with that many guys? Man?
That's a lot. That's a lot of
space.
It's a lot of opinions on how to play it.
Seriously, actually, you do it like this. Okay, Jeff Beck.
Right. Anyway, that's the Honeydrippers. All right.
Yeah.
We're going to do another one here. This time I'm going to do the question. This one's tough. This one, if you have to use the internet. And this one, you might have to be maybe just a child of the 90s here. But here it comes. Ready? I didn't ask you this one.
Oh.
This is a surprise. How many songs did Eddie Vedder sing on the 1991 Seattle Supergroup album, Temple of the Dog?
Oh, man.
Ooh.
Oh, man. All right. Yeah, modern supergroup. Good job.
Yep. Let's see. Hey, I'm gonna put you on the spot. What if we did a little G minor pentatonic thing? Almost like an After Midnight. Let's just make it be After Midnight. How many songs did Eddie Vedder sing on Temple of the Dog? Old Thomas says 4. This man's got access to the interwebs because you are exactly right. Now, Thomas, hey, tell the truth. Did you just know that? Put that in the chat below. It's like, oh, man, I've been down with Temple of the Dog. I know what's up. Yeah, 4. So, obviously, he's saying on Hunger Strike. Mm-hmm. I don't mind stealing bread. And then he's saying background vocals on Pushing Forward Back. Pushing forward back. And then Your Savior and Four Walled World. I don't know those ones as well. But anyway. That's pretty cool, right?
Pretty cool.
All right.
Cool.
He says it was a guess. Well,
hey, good guess.
Hey, Max Walling, 2. Nah.
No, whatever, Max.
Okay.
Get on the internet. Come on.
All right, here's another one. This one's tough. Okay. Everybody knows the Highwayman, which is Waylon Jennings. Willie. Johnny Cash.
And some Kenny.
And Chris Christopherson. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Now, Waylon Jennings had another supergroup, because that's how Waylon is. Matter of fact, and by the way, just for frame of reference, we're not talking about all the duos that he's done, with Travis Tritt and, Hank Williams Jr. and all that. Supergroup, more than 2 people. What was the name of Waylon Jennings' other supergroup?
Man, I have no clue.
While they're thinking about that, so you're running directly all of your pedals into this Friedman. What do you think?
I mean, it sounds great. Everything's very, very hot, very responsive. I have no issues with this whatsoever. It sounds awesome. My board isn't really set up with all my drive coming off my amplifier. I don't really have any drive on here, so I'm kind of all bypass anyway. But I also lost all the dirt out of that amplifier whenever we went through bypass. So.
Yep.
Yeah, this is cool, man. This sounds really, really good.
Throw it on the second channel so we can hear what the reverb and delay is doing.
So that's some big reverb on there for sure.
Yeah. So here it is in the effects loop. Same kind of idea. By the way, Mike and I intentionally set all of our settings on the Friedman exactly the same.
Yep. A little bit different delay. We got the same captain stand going, but more or less the same stuff.
All right, let me turn my tremolo off here. So, to me, running everything from the effects loop, it's a little bit cleaner on the delay. And then if I hit my huge delay. I personally think it sounds better through the effects loop, but here's what's crazy is I don't think it sounds terrible. Sometimes like when you play like a Marshall-style circuit and you put modulation in the front of the amp, it's like, but that actually sounds really good. Nobody's got a guess.
Delay
on
right off on that one,
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Oh, just saying no delay on that one that time, so sounds a little different.
Well, nobody's got a guess on the Waylon Jennings thing. That's a stumper.
Well,
I didn't know it either, by the way, so check this out. Waylon Jennings had another supergroup, and it was called The Old Dogs.
The Old Dogs. Of course it was.
And listen to this. It was Waylon Jennings, Mel Tillis, Bobby Bear, and Jerry Reed.
Wow.
Man, I guarantee you, keeping those guys corralled and on the straight and narrow, somebody had a job.
I don't think they were straight and narrow. That's why they started a band, so yeah.
All right, last one. Last question. In what supergroup did Keith Richards play bass? And what was the name of the supergroup? In what supergroup did Keith Richards play bass? And what was the name of the supergroup? You knew this before, as soon as I said Keith Richards.
I mean, yeah. But it ain't about me.
Sometimes, Mike, you just get what you need.
You do. That's all you really need.
Yeah, that's it.
But we work in a store of wants,
Yeah.
so, you know, sometimes they're one and the same.
Hey, Andy, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thanks, man.
You know, some days you get with your guitar buddy, and you don't even have to really say a whole lot. It's just peanut butter and jelly.
Well, man, these Friedman things are cool. And we sound the same, so it's nice to have not that we're competing, but, you know, you got to figure out how to line up, and it's not hard to line up when you use the same stuff.
That's a really good point, because if you and I were hitting the road today, we would have a serious discussion about who's the humbucker guy and who's the single coil guy.
Yep.
And I feel like you would win humbuckers.
Well, I'd maybe. It's not that I want to win, but I probably just have more of them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And so then, and then we would be having a discussion on, you know, who's the, you know, gainier guy and versus, you know, all that kind of stuff.
Who's got better hair.
Yeah.
It just goes on and goes on.
But all that said is that this is a rare instance where we're literally playing almost, in fact, we have a lot of the same type of pedals.
I mean, maybe some different versions, but our boards are the same.
Yeah,
more
really
or less.
close. I mean, really close.
It's
Just
pretty
looking
cool.
at them. Yeah. I used to have a wah on my board, and I had to sacrifice it. And now when I use it, I just plug it on there. But the answer to this question, was what supergroup did Keith Richards play bass for?
It is the Dirty Mac from the one-time live performance of the Rolling Stones Rock and Roll Circus back in 1968.
And who was in that group?
It was Eric Clapton on lead guitar, John Lennon, rhythm guitar and vocals. You have Keith on the bass, the delicious bass, and Mitch Mitchell from the Jimi Hendrix Experience on the drums. And yeah, what a band.
And then there was one more.
Oh, and Yoko Ono. She was in the band as well.
Yeah.
She has a very outstanding performance. I would say it's exceptional.
Yeah.
It's an exceptional, very remarkable performance.
Unforgettable.
Unforgettable is a great way to put it. It's an unforgettable performance by Yoko.
It's different.
On there.
Yeah.
But it's cool. If you haven't seen the whole thing, I highly recommend buy the DVD if you can find it, because it's so much cool stuff. It's maybe one of the best live performance things out there, a little capsule in time. And the Stones didn't want to release it for a long time, I think, because it was the last performance with Brian Jones. He was basically kind of having a breakdown during the performance. He was out of the band a couple months later and dead a few months after that.
Oh, man.
But it was really, it starts out with Jethro Tull, a brand new band, Jethro Tull. Also, random life fact, they have a
Tony
guitar
Iommi.
player.
Yeah.
A random lefty guitar player. You can't see his face, and he's really good. He was in the band for a month and a half
Yeah.
because he left his band Earth,
Yeah.
joined Jethro Tull, quit Jethro Tull, went back to Earth, but decided to call it Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And he's playing a Strat.
And he's
in
playing
that.
a Strat the whole
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
So you don't even think it's him, because he's got a big floppy hat and kind of looks like him, but like, there's no way that's Tony.
And they sound awesome.
It sounds awesome. It is a great performance.
It's probably one of the heavier Jethro Tull moments.
Yeah.
And isn't Taj Mahal in there too?
So then after, Taj Mahal. And what's really cool, I said buy the DVD, because Taj Mahal does that great Ain't That a Lot of Love Sam and Dave cover on there. But in the special features of the DVD, there's 3 more Taj Mahal songs, and it's just wonderful.
That's
There's
awesome.
Karina, Leavin' Trunk, a few other really great early Taj Mahal songs on there, but absolutely fantastic, if not just to watch him. The Who I think were the reason why the Stones didn't release it, because their performance is just nuts. They kill it. I mean, they kill it. And
Like they upstaged
they
them.
might have upstaged the
Yeah,
Stones by just a little bit. Don't want to say that, but that might have
Yeah.
happened. Marianne Faithfull's on there, Mick's girlfriend at the time. She does a performance, very, very lovely. And then, you see the Dirty Mac, and then it's closed out by the Stones. And it's interesting, too, because there's been a lot of back and forth. Is Brian even playing? Because if you listen to it, he's hard to hear. Like, he's maybe up there, but it sounds like a one-guitar band to me that night. And so, but they're going through the motions. They're doing basically what was going to be Beggar's Banquet. So you hear Sympathy for the Devil for one of the first times. You hear Can't Always Get What You Want, some of those songs that kind of just came out. And super cool performance. If you haven't seen the Rock and Roll Circus, you owe it to yourself. It's amazing.
That's awesome.
It's amazing. I've seen it a few times, okay?
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Yes, you're welcome.
I feel like I learned something every single time. Speaking of learning something, Randy Buckner's walking in the building here. If you haven't checked out the last episode of Chords and Coffee, Randy, you killed it.
Yes.
He did a great job. Randy teaches guitar here. He is a fantastic guitar player. But go watch that episode of Chords and Coffee. Speaking of which, this Saturday, we're doing an episode where we're going to be talking about chromatic approach in blues. So like if you're doing like a regular kind of blues thing, go ahead and give me like a little blues and A kind of thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play like a F sharp minor pentatonic, and then I'm going to throw a little chromatic. Yeah, so, but without giving it all away, thank you, Mike. That was very good.
It's my specialty.
Exactly. A little chromatic approach this week on Chords and Coffee, and kind of a way to approach that concept. Mm-hmm. Also, tomorrow we have Emmett and Elijah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That Elijah.
Yeah, I feel like every time they play, it just kind of classes up the place.
It does. We're here like turning up guitars, and they're just laying it down smooth.
Yeah. It's going to be great.
Yeah,
and then Friday, all of us sitting on the couch, answering your questions, enjoying one another, shenanigans.
Mm-hmm. Making it up as we go along.
Absolutely.
It's super fun, though.
Yep. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hey, if you haven't already, please follow the channel. We're going to be doing this live stream. This is continuing to develop. This is something we look forward to every week. Mike, thanks again, man.
Oh, yeah. Happy to do it, buddy.
Yep.
This is a lot of fun. We get an excuse to sit down and play. We're forced to. We're made to do this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching.
We like it.
And we love it.
Yeah.
Do. Thank you for the privilege of your time.
Yeah,
thank you for your comments. You guys have a great rest of the day.
And thank you, Jordan.
Yes.
Making it sound cool on the internet. It's all right.
Here, we'll play you out really quick.
Oh.